to a sunny and warm Knockhill racing circuit. In today's programme we're going to be looking at the Scottish Sports and Saloons. They're lining up on the grid for their first race of the day. Later on we're also going to have a look at the Classic Sports and Saloons. But first up, as I mentioned, are the Scottish Sports and Saloons. Richard, take it away.
Thanks, Joe. The Hour of Power gets underway with Roddy Patterson on pole position. Paul Bryden is alongside then Finlay Crocker and Alistair McMillan. Row 3, Phil Dryborough and Colin Simpson. They're followed by Robert Drummond and Thompson McIntyre. Keith Cowie and Graham Robertson ahead of William Robson and Andrew Christie. Brian Meldrum, Scott Tollan and Gary Waite completing the grid. Lights are on here at Knockhill. Round 5 of the Scottish Saloon and Sports Car Championship. Away we go. Very quick is the Caterham of Roddy Patterson. A very eclectic mix of cars as ever, as you can see. The Ultima of Alistair McMillan challenging Paul Bryden for second position down Duffus for the first time. The Ultima 3-litre engine, the Ultima GTR, is up into third place. Finlay Crocker is there in the Honda Civic in fourth place at the moment. We've got a multitude of classes represented. Roddy Patterson is away and down the road. William Robson leads the championship. He's in class B1, 86 points, 1 point clear of Paul Bryden in the BMW running in class A2. Scott Tollan third in the championship standings. A moment for the Ultima. Alistair McMillan spins round. Nasty moment here. Thankfully, I think everybody has seen. Very wide moment there indeed. Scary moment for 63 Graham Robertson in the BMW E46, who's going to rejoin. We go back, Paul Bryden there, now down behind Phil Dryborough in the Ginetta. Phil Dryborough, who of course took the overall win in our second race in April in bizarre circumstances. We did have a few non-finishers, but nonetheless Dryborough it was that took that win. Fourth position in class in the first race of the season for him. But Paul Bryden up into second position. Roddy Patterson away and down the road. Patterson the only driver in class A3, so no competition for Patterson in this one as the Marcos and Honda do battle for second position. So Finlay Crocker in second place, Colin Simpson in the Marcos Mantis is there in third. I think I said Paul Bryden was second. Well, Bryden at the moment third place in class and fourth on the road. So it's class A3 car leading several of the class A2s, which is again the best supported class in the race today. And Finlay Crocker doing a grand job at the moment in the Honda of holding off the Marcos. Crocker with bags of experience of this circuit, but look at the Marcos getting wound up here, and the Mantis, all 5 litres of grunt, comes into play down the straight into the hairpin. He's on the outside line. Crocker's got the inside line, holds on to position. The Mantis will get into top gear as quickly as possible and has a run up the hill, and those extra 2 litres coming into play. And here comes Colin Simpson. Can he get second? He annexes second place, going down into Duffus. Finlay Crocker down to third in the Honda. That was a nice battle between the pair of them. So Simpson second, Roddy Patterson away and down the road as you might expect in the 2.3 litre Caterham running in class A3. The A-class cars, I remind you, running on a treaded tyre. And there's the race leader, Roddy Patterson, already well into back marker territory. The Ultima is still going. Alistair McMillan still having a few problems. Roddy Patterson goes through on the inside. You can see the blue flag being waved pretty heartily on the pit wall. Alistair McMillan in the 44 car had a brace of retirements in fact on the 1st of May here, so hopefully some better luck will ensue for the wonderful Ultima. Really great mix of cars in this championship now. Wonderful to see the likes of Ginetta as well as Honda, BMW, Marcos, Caterham and Ultima all out there. Andrew Christie's out again in the Class B2 MK Indy. And then we've got the various Fords and Subarus as well. So a really good mix and match category. You've got a Smoky Joe on circuit ahead of Roddy Patterson. My guess is it's Gary Waite. Gary, I think, thought might have come into the pit lane, but Gary is going to soldier on in the 59 car. There goes the Ultima a lap down, so keep your eyes peeled for the Marcus Mantis of Colin Simpson running in second position. But Colin Simpson on his way to a class win. Oh, he's back down behind the Honda. So Finlay Crocker back up into second position in the Honda. Gary Waite's hand aloft. It's going to be a retirement. 59 car will pull off the circuit very sensibly. Gary Waite, I thought the problem might have disappeared, but instead it's Gary that disappears from the race rather sadly. So three shot goes the Ultima. Graham Robertson then in the BMW. Here though is Paul Bryden running in second place. 16 is Colin Simpson third, back ahead of Finlay Crocker. Meanwhile, past the 23 Seat Leon of Brian Meldrum, running second in Class B1 at the moment behind Thompson McIntyre in the 2-litre Subaru Impreza. Patterson's best lap, 52.387, averaging 85 miles an hour around the Knockhill circuit and continuing to put time between himself and the guys running for second, third and fourth. Paul Bryden second at the moment. Colin Simpson having to see if he can get the Marcos past the Ultima. Looks at the inside line, goes through. Remember, that's a lap on the Ultima. So Simpson trying to close down on Paul Bryden. Got one of the marker floppies on the front of the car. You see those floppy markers sticking up on some of the corners as a reminder that drivers shouldn't be knocking them over, but Colin Simpson has. So Bryden in second could well take the championship lead here. Remember, the championship points awarded in classes based on the number of starters in each class, and with Class A2 being well subscribed again, there are some handy points on offer for Paul Bryden, who is now being caught by the Marcos again. So Bryden is under pressure from the Marcos. Colin Simpson is chasing hard. This for the lead in Class A2, and Simpson looking handy, looking racy going down into Scotsman. It was a wide line in. Paul Bryden will be to some extent looking in his mirrors. Bryden in the 79 car has finished all of the races so far. Only one class win for Paul Bryden. That was round 4 last time out. So last lap for Roddy Patterson in the Caterham, the number 51 car. Roddy's second meeting of the year. Second place overall in the opening race of last month, but a first in class. And he's going to follow that up with a second overall win by the look of it. He's well clear, over 20 seconds clear of the Dice, which is going on for second place and indeed the lead of Class A2. So Patterson out of the hairpin, climbs up the hill, and there is the checkered flag. Roddy Patterson takes another third class win of the year, second overall win of the year, and a great result for him. Some of the back markers going past, and we look for second, and it's actually Colin Simpson now in second position. So Simpson in the blue Mantis is going to take second position overall. Graham Robertson crosses the line, he's in Class A2 as well. Paul Bryden is next, then Finlay Crocker taking third in class. Phil Dryborough in the Ginetta in the background, you can see, is behind them, and Phil will take fifth position in the race one. And Class A3 win to Roddy Patterson. A2 going to Colin Simpson ahead of Paul Bryden, Finlay Crocker, Phil Dryborough, Keith Cowie. Thompson McIntyre wins B1 from Brian Meldrum. And it was Alistair McMillan from Graham Robertson, Andrew Christie, Scott Tollan and John Kennedy in 14.
Roddy, well done. Tropical conditions at Knockhill, which makes a nice change, but it makes it even harder on your guys' cars. But a successful race, got to the finish and you got there first.
Yep, no, it was good. It's a bit more track temperature. You can certainly feel it in the tyres. They grip a bit quicker. I was on a completely new set of tyres this time. I don't know if you've noticed, but every time we go out we change something and we work out whether it's faster or slower. These are motorcycle sidecar tyres in the back now, which is a bit of an experiment. So I didn't really know what to expect. quick, but it went fine.
I noticed the hill climb tyres earlier in the year. Are you getting a softer compound with the sidecar tyre?
Well, it's not. It's the only one that's available. Unfortunately, I've only got 13-inch wheels, and the tyre manufacturers make them all for much bigger wheels now, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, and there's virtually nothing. So my only choice is to go back to cross plies after this. So the tyres I used last race, believe it or not, were 4 years old.
No Donaldson this weekend to play with out there, but still an entertaining race.
Yeah, I missed Ian because obviously that car's great and it's got fantastic potential. I suspect he's playing down south now with it a wee bit, which is great, and I'm sure he'll be back, so we'll play again in the future.
Good stuff, well done.
Thank you.
And our second place finisher, Roddy, a clean pair of heels there, but still a good effort.
Yeah, it was good. It's quite an exciting race. It was hard work. It was good.
You looked pretty hot and sweaty when you got out that car there.
It's very hot. It's like a sauna inside it, actually.
What can you do to close this gap up? Got some really hot track temperatures today.
Oh, nothing. That's just in a different class, isn't it? Different league. No, I don't think that's realistic. You know, maybe another 500 horsepower would help, but I don't think so.
Or some rain.
He's very quick in the rain now too. It's very quick. He's got that car handling beautifully. You know. No, I don't think so. I think that's out of the question.
Still a good first race of the day, well done.
Thank you.
Paul, great result, third place, loads of power in this thing. It doesn't help with the, we moan about the weather all the time, but when it's hot we moan as well. It doesn't help these cars, does it?
No, when the hotter that thing gets, you get more heat soak into it and it gets slower and slower and slower. So Colin caught me at the end there and just passed me going up the straight. We're normally about the same speed in a straight line, but I just clearly drove by me. But good race.
A rain dance at lunchtime?
Oh, I don't think we'll get that today now.
You never know, is Knockhill?
Well, that's true. I would like it, but I don't think we'll get that.
Well done.
Thank you.
Scottish Sports and Saloons race number 2, and back on pole position is the man who's been fairly dominant, we'll say, this weekend, giving us a cheeky grin there. Roddy on pole position. Let's see if he can do it again with his sidecar tyres, he tells me. I'll hand it to Richard and he'll take us through their second race of the day.
Thanks, Joe. Well, if we see Roddy leaning out of the car, we know why. He starts on pole position. Colin Simpson alongside. Then it's Paul Bryden and Finley Crocker. Phil Dryborough and Keith Cowie, row 3, followed by Thompson, McIntyre and Brian Meldrum. William Robson is next from Alistair McMillan. Graham Robertson, followed by Andrew Christie. Scott Tollan, John Kennedy, Gary Waite and Robert Drummond. Well, Messrs McMillan, Kennedy, Waite and Drummond non-starting in this one, sadly. So it's 12 cars to take the start. A good mix of cars nonetheless. The lights are on for round 6 of the championship. Out go the lights. Look how difficult it is to get the Mantis away from second position. The rest of them make very good starts, and Roddy Patterson again, I think he's going to make this something of a demonstration race for the 2.3 litre Caterham. Remember, running in class A3, he had nobody to race with really in race number 1, so he's going to disappear in the distance. We're going to focus on class A2 though, and rightly so, because it's the very well supported class, very close as well. Finley Crocker chasing Phil Dryborough in the Janetta for third place in class. The class at the moment led by Colin Simpson in the Mantis. He did eventually get it off the line. Keith Cowie from Brian Meldrum in his Seat. So we've got Andrew Christie in the MK Indy. Andrew running in class B2, which is the treaded tyre, so you expect the class B cars with the treads to be a little bit further behind than we've seen them in the wet conditions. Of course, the full slick shod cars in classes A1, A2 and A3. Class A1, only 2 entrants this weekend, Robert Drummond and Scott Tollan. And Scott Tollan here is going to pick up some more points. He's going to extend his championship lead over Ian Donaldson, who's not with us this weekend. So William Robson, we saw in the Ford Focus running well, but it's the Marcus Mantis that's there at the moment. Finley Crocker challenging for second place in class on the inside of Paul Bryden. Let's see if Crocker can get the one call. Backed Honda up the inside line, challenging hard. Down behind them it's Phil Dryborough. Just pause for a moment to listen to those fantastic engine notes going past our pit camera. So Bryden in second. So a lot of place changes in this class in race number 1. You can see that the racing very keen here again in race 2. Colin Simpson leads class. Paul Bryden is second. Finley Crocker third. It's the way they started, indeed the way they finished in the first race. But Finley Crocker here looking sharp and looking as if he might move up another place. We've got Phil Dryborough in behind. Ginetta a little way back. You might remember the Ginetta winning second race of the year, the overall race winners so far this year. 2 overall wins for Ian Donaldson, who's not with us this weekend. Ian had a retirement in race 2 of the season, which Phil Dryborough won. And the other overall winner, of course, Roddy Patterson, who's looking for overall win number 3. But Paul Bryden here seems to have the legs over the Honda. Bryden second in class, overall podium in the offing for him. But Finley Crocker, who's seen race all sorts of different cars over the years, raced in the Clio Cup on the Toka package, was a successful Celtic Speed Scottish Mini Cooper Cup racer as well. Him racing in the Legends Cars Championship as well. Whatever you stick Finley in, he's a quick driver, and say here running in podium pace in Class A2. Finley missed the opening round of the year, had a 4th place first time out last time, a 2nd position in race 2, another podium in race 3, and such are these championships that you can probably get up into the top 3 or 4 positions overall, even though you might miss the odd meeting. It happened in the Classics last year with the Scottish Classic Sports and Saloon car champion Stan Bernard winning the championship after missing one of the rounds, and Finley Crocker will know that he perhaps has a chance of taking the overall championship this year if he continues to consistently finish and keep the car up towards the podium, and that's what he's trying to do at the moment, putting Paul Bryden under big pressure. Bryden from Pumpherston, Crocker, who comes from Bathgate, still piling on the pressure as they go through the hairpin. Big climb. Bryden, a little bit of opposite lock there coming out, so I think feeling the pressure. We've got to say that the Marcus Mantis not getting away overly at the moment. 3rd and 4th place, very close race. The Ginetta Phil Dryborough being lost at the moment, the Glen Ross based man in the 4.5 litre Ginetta G50. Dryborough's 4th race of the year, 4th in class in race number 1 of the season, so good point scoring for him. And Crocker all over the back of Bryden, and Crocker here wide line into Clark. The race leader's getting into some back marker traffic. Scott Tollan in the Class A1 2 litre Escort Cosworth is the machine that they're closing up on, and here we go in car with Paul Bryden. Bryden closes up on the Mantis coming into the hairpin. Has he left a little bit of a gap on the inside line? Yes, he has, and Crocker goes through. Finley Crocker through into 2nd position in class, 3rd overall, and we'll see whether Bryden can wind up the BMW and come back. No, he can't, so Crocker makes up the position. There was just half a gap on the inside line. On board with Andrew Christie, who I think is the next car due to be lapped. Yes, there goes Crocker going through on the inside line. Bryden squeezes through as well. Christie off onto the grass in the MK Indy. Christie, the lone car again, like Roddy Patterson, the lone car in Class B2. So as long as he finishes, he'll get class points for that, which will add up and may be significant at the end of the year. Graham Robertson, the next target for Finley Crocker to lap in the Class A2. So these cars in the same class, and Robertson sticks to the outside line, allows Finley Crocker through. Bryden goes through as well. You can see the blue flag being waved to those cars being lapped, and Crocker looking pretty handy at the moment in 3rd position on the road. The race, I remind you, led by Roddy Patterson. Finley Crocker is 3rd in class. So onto the last lap goes Roddy Patterson, past Keith Cowie, who I think is probably going to be the last car to be lapped by the race leader. So Patterson is going to make it 3 outright wins in succession. It's the only Class A3 car that we've seen all season, and I'm sure he'd welcome a little bit of competition. got the MK. I did say he wasn't going to lap any more cars. Of course, he's already lapped Andrew Christie in the MK Indy, so that's 2 laps down for Christie. Scott Tolan is also 2 laps down. Graham Robertson may well find himself 2 laps down as well in the BMW, and indeed Roddy Patterson goes through. Patterson takes the checkered flag, a bigger margin again than he had in race number 1 by the look of it. Who's going to come in second position? We look back and the chasing pack not even into the hairpin as yet, and it's Finlay Crocker who's emerged in second position ahead of Colin Simpson. So Crocker is going to take the class win. Finlay Crocker comes through, takes his first class win of the year. A fine drive from the Honda, beating the Marcus Mantis. Paul Bryden was next. There is Phil Dryborough, who takes 4th in class and 5th position on the road. Brian Meldrum goes through in the Seat to take 3rd position in Class B1. But a great meeting for Roddy Patterson, 2 outright wins. Finlay Crocker this time wins Class A2 for Colin Simpson, Paul Bryden and Phil Dryborough. Keith Cowie is next in Class A2. Thompson McIntyre wins B1 from William Robson. Brian Meldrum next from Graham Robertson, Andrew Christie, and Scott Tolan in 12th.
Roddy, what a fantastic weekend on the back of another fantastic weekend. Just really stringing it together now.
We've found a wee sweet spot for the car suspension. It's beginning to work quite well. Wee bit slower today, wee bit disappointed not to get into 51s today, but we were using it as a test session to see what we could do.
It's not that quick a day, despite the weather being grey. It's a little bit too hot almost.
I think it is. The air temperature's too hot. The engines will all be down in power a wee bit. Handling was quite nice. So, yeah, good. Very happy.
Well done. Finlay Crocker, great to see you here back on the podium. At one point, I didn't think we were going to see this car. Loads of dramas trying to get it built or trying to get you in it. No offence. But now you're in it. It's a flying machine.
Yeah, we're second time out in the car. You know, normally by this time of the year we would have tested the car half a dozen times. It's really second running it. The guys have done a first class job. Really, really good. Struggled last time out, particularly in the wet. Got a bit quicker in the dry. Tested yesterday. Got a bit better. But yeah, the car's that's mega. I really, really enjoyed it. Couldn't have gone any faster. Could not have gone any quicker.
Look at the weather we've got as well for Knockhill.
It's a bit surprising, yeah.
Well, unfortunately, that brings today's action to a close, but what great racing we've seen under some fantastic conditions all day. Make sure you tune in next time for more action.